Hi, my name is Jacobina Trump, and I'm going to invite you to draw with me, or at least to look at what I'm doing. In the beginning, there's always a line, and everybody knows how to draw a line. You have a pencil between your thumb, your first finger, and your second finger. And from then on, very lightly, you can put a line down. After that, it becomes more complicated. But it is not so that you cannot learn how to draw. I have approached many of you lately to look into the idea of drawing, just to calm your mind. What else do you do? Watch TV? It's becoming a little bit tricky. I have friends who love to take walks in nature to calm down, but in the rainy season, that is not always possible. And it's hot in Florida right now. Some have said, it's just too much work. Drawing is too much work. It takes tremendous energy to learn to draw. And I'm already so old. To all of you who have come up with legitimate excuses not to sign up for my class, you are right. It does take time and energy, but not as much as you think. And it will also give you energy. It will open up the creative energy that is in the right side of your brain. See, the left brain is our logical thinking brain. Have you ever heard a voice talking inside of you? That is your left brain talking. It truly is a chatterbox. It's very judgmental and it knows everything better. And that is because we allow it to do so. But it is also very hard to make it shut up. I know many people are meditating because of that reason. But I find meditation very hard because my mind just drifts off and there's this to-do list and there's so many other things I still have to do that pretty soon in the meditation, I just have to go. I just gotta go. Unless I do it with somebody, that's something else. We are so used to rule our own world with our logical thinking mind. And I'm sure that saved us from harm once in a while. But my goodness, let's have some fun now. Today, the safest place is at home because of COVID. And most of you have a safe place to go home too. I mean, that's a requirement. There's just not much else to go out to do and visit or get together with friends. So generally speaking, there's more time in the day. Still, you are not seriously thinking about a drawing class. The thinking is that it's too difficult and you will never accomplish anything. The word art has become so loaded with opinion, judgment, and emotion that you rather not even go there. Art has become too big. And that's why I don't talk at an art class. This is not about art. This is about a craft. Art, and especially art that sells for millions and millions of dollars, we think it's like we're going to climb Mount Everest. So everything that has to do with art is like climbing Mount Everest. And I agree with you. I wouldn't want to do that either. The word has become almost like the word God or the word love. It's just too loaded. So let's not go there. And I will not talk about art. These are not art classes. And I'm not splashing paint on a canvas. And there's actually, in my classes, there's no artistic freedom. Although in course 3, I'm going to go with combinations of different scenes that you can put together and make your own composition. But that's something different. When we talk about craft, it is like embroidery or quilting, or what else can you do? Woodworking. It's a craft. It's a learnable skill. You still might not like it. You still might say halfway, well, I really thought I'd give it a try, but just can't do it. I'm not into it. That's fine. The hatching and the cross-hatching, which gives a tremendous effect in the gray tones, is nothing more than meticulously adding one tiny line parallel to the first one, to the next and the next. And then you can change the direction and do it again. That way you can control the gray tones. If I slow down the video, you will exactly see what I'm talking about. It looks a little bit boring, right? But not so fast. Don't judge too fast, because it still demands a high concentration. It truly is not like a coloring book. Although eventually I travel off in my head while I'm drawing. When you start, you cannot really do that. You have to really, really concentrate. And the repetitive lines are relaxing. It's repetitive, almost boring, which makes it relaxing, but the left brain is not interfering. The left brain is already way out of the door. In this video, it looks like I'm drawing and talking at the same time, but I'm not. I never do. I cannot talk and draw at the same time. These are one of the secrets. These are mental attitudes, really, that prevent you maybe in the past from drawing. It is something mental. There's mental blocks. It's not that you technically would not be able to do it. You only never learned properly how to do it. The means are very simple. A pencil, the paper and a pencil doesn't cost you more than $1. And you can do it anywhere in the world. You can always have a sketchbook with you and sit at an airport, watch children play or whatever, and your hands are busy and your mind really starts to relax into. There's another really good thing about all this, and that is that you connect to what is around you. You connect to nature in a very, very deep way. I always, when I'm out there in the fields, I hear all the sounds and I see literally the sun changing on the subject I am drawing. And because I am so quiet, very often the animals come toward me and just stand there and stare at me, or almost sit next to me, like a deer or a bobcat. They just are totally not aware of me at all, which is very cool. But the connection, even to the flowers, is something that I like about it. The flowers wilt, eventually I have to throw them away. So once I buy a bunch of flowers like this, the lilies, very often I make a lot of drawings, because when they wilt, I still have the drawings and I still have the memory of the drawings. So one of the secrets is that you cannot talk and draw at the same time. And that's where you're going to become very quiet inside. Then there's another thing that is actually good about our COVID time. That sounds a little bit weird, but since we're so used to doing things online now, you don't have to travel to an art center and confront people who probably have been drawing now for years and years, and you feel already embarrassed up front. You think, okay, now I have to face all these people who have skills that I might never achieve. No, you might not. We don't know that. But now in the privacy of your home, you actually don't have to confront those people. Even if so I'm going to offer 6-week classes and 6 times Zoom meetings with other people. But if you don't want to be part of it and you just want to see the recording, then that's fine. If the participants agree to that, of course. We can also do private classes in which I take the time to talk with you privately about difficulties, challenges, and I can do demonstrations. You can show your work through the computer. So it becomes less of a competition thing, but more something that you can completely keep private for yourself. And I think that's that's a second secret, actually. That's the competition part. We are drilled to be in competition with everybody. From the moment we go to school, we get marks for our work. Everybody always is competing with everybody. The creative mind is not interested in competition at all. The creative mind is just your mind, is your creative part, is the best you can do. Think about Van Gogh, how crooked all his paintings and drawings were, basically. I mean, he really could draw very well after a while, but not in the beginning. And he taught himself how to do all this. He knew it was wrong. He put a lot of effort in it. But once you look at others and compare whatever you are going to put down to others, then you're going to stop drawing immediately. And I know that. So that's why group sessions are actually not really that good. So that's the second secret of the competitive mind needs to go out of the door. But since we have it so long, it's a struggle to let that happen. And there's more of these little secrets that you will learn while we go along. I take you step by step from when you were a baby and learned how to scratch with a pencil onto paper without anything in mind, to the time when you really were able to draw a house and a sun and a car or whatever you felt comfortable with, to the moment that you realized that it probably doesn't look like the real thing, like the real world. Probably at the same time too, they said you need to grow up because you need to do math classes. You cannot build bridges with your right brain. And I have to say, I'm happy that the left brain is there to mathematically, logically, linear with linear thinking, have built bridges, planes, and high-rises. I cannot imagine that the right brain would be part of that and course correct as they went along. That's actually the biggest thing, that the right brain is course correcting and not as much the left brain. The left brain it's either right or wrong. It is 1 + 1 is 2, and it can never be 3. In my creative brain, 1 + 1 is 11, but nobody thinks that's a joke. So the right brain needs freedom, and it course corrects. There are no mistakes. You can erase something when you figure out that a line is going to be a little bit better when it's placed there, but you can always do that. So these are 3 very important points that I mentioned that has to do with a mental attitude and not as much a technical aspect of learning to draw. I hope you are going to sign up, or maybe the next sessions around, and know that I'm here for you also to do private classes. I would love to meet you and see how far we can throw this ball.